I sort of got started in a weird way because I was on a TV show called Fashion House that was a Fox telenovela that was in English. We were on 6 nights a week. It starred Morgan Fairchild and Bo Derek. So I was in gay heaven. And the guy that played my business partner on the show, he and I were the only two out gay actors playing gay characters in prime time that season. This was like 6 years ago. And so we got a call this one day from this charity that works for mentoring young gays. And they said, we're doing this night of stand-up, would you come and do 10 minutes? And my manager said, he's not a comic, but you know what, every time he comes in this office, he's got all these hilarious stories. He could do 10 minutes. And so all my life, my mother had said, you should be doing stand-up comedy, and I never was interested. I had been friends with Kathy Griffin for 10 years, and I always admired it, but thought that's the hardest part of show business to be in. When they asked me to do this one charity night, I thought, I'll do 10 minutes to prove my mother wrong. And so my mom and my family flew in from Phoenix, and the very first time I did stand-up was at the Laugh Factory, which is like the best room in LA. And I did 10 minutes, and it was the most fun 10 minutes I'd ever had in my life up to that point. So that was like 6 years ago, and I just started doing it more and more, sort of for fun. And then the weirdest thing happened. All the good things in my career that have happened have been from stand-up. It's not from going to auditions, because when you go to an audition, you're one of 400 guys that read those 2 lines as the gay waiter. But when a casting person sees you do 10 minutes and they really have a sense of who you are, that's how I got 2.5 Men. That's how I started getting these bigger television jobs, was because people knew my stand-up. The executive producers of The Suit were fans of my stand-up, and when they decided they wanted to do a female version of The Suit called The Dish, they called and said, would you be a writer? Would you write jokes for this show? And from that, when the day after I saw Joan's documentary, A Piece of Work, the next day I was at work at The Dish, and the publicity department called and said, Joan doesn't like the promos we wrote for the return of Fashion Police. She wants 3 writers to come to her house tomorrow and make them funny. Do you want to go to Joan Rivers' house and write jokes with her? Wow. Literally the day after I'd seen the documentary. And Joan was the first comedian I paid money to see when I was 16 years old. I bought 1 ticket and sat in the balcony. And all I wanted in life was for her to give me a plant. You know, she used to give away the plants. And I didn't get a plant that night. And then here it was Christmas. And I'm sitting there alone in the dressing room with Joan Rivers. And she's holding my hand. And I go, Joan, when I was 16, all I wanted was for you to give me a plant. And I didn't get a plant that night, and I was so brokenhearted. And now look at me. I'm sitting here all these years later, and you're holding my hand, and when we leave, you say, I love you, Tony, and I say, I love you, Joan. That's so much better than any plant you could have given me. That plant would be long dead. And it's just weird how life works, and I started to get all misty, and Joan goes, please don't go getting all faggoty right now. And that's the truth. She does not like a compliment. That woman does not.
We're getting this into. It's a very special evening tonight. We are filming for an episode, or they are filming for an episode of Joan and Alyssa, so we're going to have a really great time.
Okay, come on. All right, now everybody shut up. Quiet down. This is Joan Rivers. Now listen to me. The show is about to start, so turn off your stupid phones. Get ready. You've seen them on 2.5 Men, Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D-List.
Writing a joke for Joan, you know, people are like, don't you sometimes write a joke for Joan and then go, oh, I wish I could keep that for myself? They're totally different.
And he's going to be in the up-and-coming season 2 of Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best. Here he is. Who is he? He's my favorite bilingual comedian, fluent in both English and pitch. As they say, take him off your crotches. Tony Tripoli!
It's just, it's her cadence is so different than mine, the way she speaks and her frame of reference. And also Joan does short one-liners, and I tell 10-minute long stories. So Joan would never go 2 minutes without a huge laugh. But in my act, there are quiet times where you're just listening and getting the information that leads up, hopefully, to a big payoff. Well, maybe Liza Minnelli. Yeah, well, because she'll marry us, but that's taking it too far. Joan is so awesome. She is She's wonderful. I just love her so much. She's really made me part of the family. I have not an unkind thing to say about her, except this. It's so weird, to do the show when the lights are on for camera shooting so they can get the audience, because normally you can't see, there's literally a spotlight over on this section because they knew that's where Melissa and Lynn were going to sit. Melissa, I love. Melissa is incredibly kind. She's a mom. So she is a nurturer, she's affectionate, and she has been in the business since, the time she was born. So Melissa, I'm not worried about at all. She totally gets it. But the woman sitting next to her is another comic named Lynn, who is a longtime friend of the family. And I've only met her a few times, but, we're two comics, and we both want Joan to think we're her favorite comic. And there's this odd competition. And it's, it's not probably a very, very nice thing. And it's not mean, but there's this thing kind of preventing us from being maybe as close as we otherwise would if she was a school teacher, because we do see each other as competition. I love Provincetown is so gay. It's completely gay there, and I did something. I was much more concerned about her reactions than Melissa's, because I knew Melissa would get it and not be offended.
Well, have you seen her friend's routine? Have you seen her?
No, I've intentionally not, because if you ever meet someone who's a comic and you're not familiar with their work, then you can give them the benefit of the doubt and assume they're hilarious. But once you've seen somebody not be funny, then it's so hard to have like a respect for them, because it's like, you're a shitty comic. And so I don't know how good or great or not great she might be. And I really was like, I need to not see her perform so that I can assume she's great, because she talks a big game, as all comics do, and but we're shooting the reality show through October, and so she and I will be spending a lot of time together, and I just don't want it to be. We had one really big blow up earlier this week. I kind of can't believe she came to the show. That's really what it is, let's be honest. That's what tonight's all about. But yes, we do the show. We take the show usually like 8:30 in the morning. So I meet Joan at E at 5 a.m. So I meet Joan Rivers at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's just right out of the shower. You guys aren't. Joan shows up at 5 a.m. with no makeup on. Yes.
Hi. Oh, I love your picture.
Oh
my God.
Thank you.
Did you see how hard I was laughing?
Yes,
Did you hear
thank
me?
you
It
so
was
much.
hilarious. Hilarious.
Lady, that's so nice.
I don't even know what parts make me laugh the hardest, because all of it. Because we laugh about ourselves and with what we do. I mean, I think the only thing I found offensive was like that Tony was calling my mom his boss. I mean,
that's
really are
true. That's true. You really are the boss.
By the way,
That's true.
It was hilarious.
Thanks.
Oh my God, that end. Can I jump in one more time?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, you're really leaving?
Yeah, I'm really leaving.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so
Off-camera.
sorry they made you sit so long.
Hilarious.
Thank you.
Hilarious.
Oh, that's so
Off-camera.
nice, Melissa.
Hilarious.
Oh my God, that just means the world. Thank you.
So funny.
Oh my God. Thank
There were,
you
there were
much.
so many things I just literally could not
It's
stop
got to be
laughing.
miserable to sit here and watch a show with a light on you. Like that must.
Didn't
just
bother me
suck.
at all. They're come to retrieve your very,
Thank you.
very.
These are yours.
Thank you. Even our super straight dudes laughed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Straight guys always have fun.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
Thank you very
It was
much.
hilarious.
Oh, well, it was a stressful. In season 1, she did a 14-hour shooting day where she was in every shot for 14 hours. And then the last thing was a drag pageant here in West Hollywood at a gay bar. She sat in the alley behind the gay bar until 3:30 in the morning, talking to every person that wanted a picture, wanted to talk. And Melissa was like, get her in the limo. And I finally got her in the car, and the old woman rolled the window down and sat for another hour talking to people from inside. Like, if there's one person that wants a moment with her, she will give them that. I just feel like I have been apprenticing show business from a legend who is so grateful. it makes me glad that I didn't get any level of fame or success until later in my life. Because now, if it were to happen that people started to know my name and people started to stop me on the street, I know I will be a better person because I've watched how Joan is.